Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Super Breakdown. Today we're going to be looking at the YG-111 Gundam G-Self Perfect Pack, another DLC suit piloted by Bell Rezenum. The G-Self is an interesting 500 cost. I feel like I say interesting every time, but the G-Self has a ton of tools to get through, some of which are only usable once per life, not once per burst like most suits. So let's just get into it. You have the basic shot, pretty good damage. If you charge it, which is a pretty quick charge, you have these two funnels that do very nice damage for the charge time and for how accessible they are. You have the assault pack that you can pull out right here with left bumper. It's pretty good damage. If you charge that, you get the photon torpedoes, and that's one of those things you get once per life that you have to be a little bit careful with how you use. Charge that up here and see if we can hit with it. Because you only get the one, but they do very good damage, like ridiculous damage. They're very nice. But as you can see, I cannot charge to get more of them now. They are just gone. You get the one use of that. You also have the reflector pack that is building up slowly over time. You can just use it at any time. You can just purge it like this, and it does very nice damage. Takes a little bit to charge back up again. There is side melee, by the way. Side melee is really nice. Then, of course, finally, you have the right bumper, or right trigger, I mean, which is this little punch. Very nice. You can combo that in by just continuing to press triangle. It is the classic G-Self punch from the series, which is pretty nice. Sucord, indeed. That is all of the basic shooting. There's the striker, uses the assault pack as well, that the G-Self has, and its range game is very nice because of it. You really don't need much more. It's good at short, long, and mid-range with all of these options. We'll go ahead and show the burst off, and then we'll get into some other melee options that it has. The burst is a melee burst, goes into the Sucord punch combo, then goes into reflector release, followed by assault pack, which is very nice. Forward melee, or that was side melee again, I'm sorry. What happens when I hit the wrong button? Forward melee is a stab, which is okay. Oh. We'll show the rest of the melee off in the second round, but of course now we ask, should you use the G-Self Perfect Pack? Should you purchase the G-Self Perfect Pack? If you are planning on buying any DLC for this game, I feel like the Perfect Pack is a good purchase. It has a lot of good utility. It has a stun that we haven't even gotten into yet, that's dedicated stun that you can pull out whenever. It has so many different options that if you're thinking about buying DLC, I think it's worth it. If you do not want to buy DLC, obviously don't get this suit. But if you're only going to buy one DLC suit, I don't know that the G-Self Perfect Pack is the only one that I would say go for. But it is very fun to play. It has a lot of good utility. Go ahead and show off that stun in the form of back melee, which is very cool. It's these two tractor beams here that can stun and go in a straight line in front of you, which means you can hit more than one suit with them at a time. You then go in with a basic melee combo, which is what you saw a minute ago, go in for the stun, and can end in photon torpedoes. And when it does, it uses your photon torpedoes. So be careful with that. Be very careful with that. Then we have forward melee that we haven't shown off yet, and you've already seen side melee. Side melee again. Forward melee is this stun. Or stun, the stab, I mean. I think the G-Self is a great suit for mid-range, because it has some great short-range options in the form of the tractor beam, in the form of the fun side melee, and forward melee, and all the different options it has there, and then you have all the ranged options that it has that are really good. Being able to just move while using the assault pack, moving forward, is very nice. Yep, that's the real side melee. I keep calling side melee the forward melee that's not the stab, but that's not what that is. I think the Sucord combo alone makes the G-Self a ton of fun to use, the Perfect Pack anyway. But it just has so many other options as well on top of that, that I definitely think it's worth using if you are buying DLC. If you're only going to buy one DLC suit, I would say it's a tough choice between this one and the H1, which I still think is the best DLC suit in the game, and like the Buster or the Aegis, which are both really interesting suits of their own and bring new things to the table that weren't previously in the game before. However, with all that said, I still think the G-Self is worth it if you're considering buying the perfect pack, that is. We'll get into the regular G-Self next time. In a couple days, as we always do. A couple days at a time. But, with all that said, I have been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that the G-Self Perfect Pack has to offer. Belrizeno. The white... I messed it up. G-wa... G... G no Reconquista.